you find out very quickly who your friends are and who the people really care and look out for you are.
Was there a time in your career that you was at a low and that you needed somebody to put their arm around you?
On the 25th floor in Moscow, and I'm just looking out the window going, just why? Why?
And coming on to take Poyet's place, the youth team captain, John Terry.
Terry at the back post. Has to take it to the near post. Oh, and it might fall to John Terry, and does.
They left him completely, and the flag stays there.
They're about to become kings of the English Premier League. And now, officially, blue is the colour, and Chelsea is the name.
Has the chance to win the Champions League for Chelsea. And there's a chance that has passed him by.
You know what, thank you will never ever be enough. But I tell you what, I'm going to come back here one day. And I'm going to be supporting this team and the players for years to come. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I love you all.
Reece Many here, host of Many Talks, podcast season 4. Not sure what episode we're on, but this season has been unreal, and I did promise some great guests, some great lineup. Thank you for your continued support. England captain, Chelsea captain, won pretty much everything. John Terry, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you.
There's some big guests we've had on, but growing up as a football fan, the two that I've had on back to back, Michael Owen and yourself, it was great to watch you growing up.
Thank you, mate. I'm honoured being a Spurs fan you are.
I shouldn't have told you that, should I?
No, you shouldn't, no.
So at the minute, you're working part-time in Chelsea Academy. You're running a team in the Ballers League. You're in property development as well, which we'll talk about. How does that, in the Ballers League, how does that work compared to what your dream is of being a Chelsea manager? Do you think that could put you in the right direction, or do you think it's a negative, a positive?
I don't think it's either. I don't think it's a negative or a positive. I don't think winning Baller League with the 26ers is going to get me back back in management, or certainly not the Chelsea job. But I made a conscious decision probably about 2 years ago to kind of call it a day in terms of me wanting to manage. Now, I've said it recently that the Chelsea job is my dream, and of course it is. But without all the other stuff of me managing in League One, the Championship, and then doing well, being successful there, probably doesn't get me to that level of Chelsea. Yeah. So that's one that I think is going to pass me by. That hurts a little bit, but unfortunately that's where I'm at. And coming out of Aston Villa and kind of doing all my badges, applying for jobs and having no success was just really disheartening for me. So I wasn't going to spend the rest of my kind of youth, if you like, or whilst I'm still young enough to go out and do stuff, I wasn't going to waste my time with interviewing for jobs.
So do you think you won't go back into management?
No, I won't go back in. No. Firstly, because I love my role at the academy. So I'm an ambassador in the academy where I work with the kids, work from like 16s to 18s.
Okay.
But that goes all the way down to like under 6s. That's how early they start. So involved in all of that. And it's like 2-3 days a week. I go to the games. I do some clips with the boys on the TV after. So like make notes during the games. I'm there during training sessions. I sometimes get my boots on. I sometimes coach within the session.
Nice.
Sometimes I stand back and get like a different perspective on it as well. I just love my role because everything these boys are going through from 16 to 21, I would have been through as a Chelsea youngster.
Yeah.
So I feel like I play a really
big role.
A big role, but you have like a really small, like 1-2%. You can make a bit of an impact in these boys' journeys.
Yeah, and talking off air before we come on the podcast about your foundation, seems like you've got a passion for helping youngsters. So I take it that's why you really enjoy doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea's my life. I love Chelsea, and Chelsea Football Club gave me absolutely everything, right from a kid all the way to where I am today. So I'm very grateful for that. So giving back is really important. The charity side of things is something separate. And I said to you off air that it's something I miss, because being Chelsea and England captain, you often get terminally ill children that come to the training ground and want to meet the players, have lunch with the players, walk out with you as captain. That's a really special thing, and I've missed that. So I'm unable to facilitate that anymore.
Yeah.
But what I can do is I can raise funds because of my profile and help these kids in a different way. I mean, tonight we've got a young boy coming down who's got a heart condition. Okay. He's walking the 26ers out tonight. Nice. So I'm still
giving them their dream.
Listen, walking out with the 26ers is not walking out with Chelsea, but it's a small gesture. He's been down and watched the 26ers and comes to Baller League on a Monday night. I noticed in there, spoke to his parents, and we swapped numbers, and he's coming down. So it's making that small difference in the world that we can.
Definitely. And talking about the Ballers League, what's your prediction for Angry Ginge going into the jungle? Do you think he's going to do well? Or?
I actually think he'll do okay. He's a big character, and he's very, very outspoken as well. So looking at the groups, I watched it last night for the first time with the family. Looking at the group last night, he's quite young. I think he'll be quite popular in the group as well. He'll be super keen with all the tasks and the trials and the eating and stuff. So I think he'll do really well.
I think going back to it, the one that I enjoyed was when Harry was in there.
Brilliant, wasn't he? So good. I love Harry.
He was on the podcast previously as well, season before, so it was good to have him on. Looking at Chelsea now as a whole, obviously you're passionate, you love them. What do you think they need to get back to winning a title again? You can't say yourself.
No, I'm certainly past it. I just think at the minute, I think we're missing a little bit of experience within the squad as well. Now, this is the angle that the new owners have gone down, which is fine. We're being successful in a different way to previous ownership. But I just think we missed that little bit of experience within the squad. So we have probably the youngest squad in the Premier League out of all the teams. I just think when you play alongside these experienced players that have been there, done it, seen it, I really think you can impact these younger players. Yeah. And I only say that because of my experiences as a youngster, coming through with the likes of Zola, Desai. When you're around these players, you learn how to eat, you learn how to go to the gym, you learn how to go to bed early. All of these bits of, as an Englishman, you grow up of finish training, go down the pub and have drinks and train again the following day. When these boys come in, it's like, no, get in early, train, go in the gym, go upstairs, have some really good food, go home, have an afternoon nap, sleep well that night, come in, feel fresh, go again. All of these little bits of learning curve I think are important. So I think that's the only missing ingredient for us at the moment. But for us to be able to do that, you need to go and compete with Liverpool, Man City and spending 120 million pound on players. That's not Chelsea's model at the moment. What they're doing is working at the moment. Do I think we can go and win the league with this squad? Probably not. Okay. But we're going to be there or thereabouts. So Champions League football is key for us as well.
That's where you want to be. If you could bring 3 players back to the bridge, who would you like to see there?
In terms of old players? Or
yeah.
I would have to be Lamps, Didier and Peter Cech for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Three icons and also like the spine of the team as well.
Of course.
I think it's big. I think it's big in all teams as well. And I think that's why we had so much success as well. Having Big Pete behind me, Lamps in front of me and Didier out front. Yeah. We had a really good spine of the team. And as well, it's a really good leadership group as well. When you talk about when you first walk in the building, at Chelsea and Peter Cech's there, me, Lamps, Didier. We're the ones first into training every day. We're the ones last in from training every single day. That's the standard. That's what you have to follow to then get in the team. So if you're the number 2 goalkeeper and you're getting in a little bit late for training, you're going home early, you've got no chance of getting in ahead of Big Pete. And it's those little bits of standards that are really important.
Would you say that he was the best goalie that you played with, Peter Cech?
Yeah. He was just unbelievable. When he first came in, honestly, you walk in from the first session and Lamps and Didier prided themselves on shooting and scoring goals in training. And they're like, you can't beat him. He's so big, he just fills the goal. Now what that does, it makes everyone go, oh my God, no one can beat him. Like rebounds, all of these little bits. And it's just the aura that he had around him as well. He was just immense, but a great communicator.
Yeah.
When you've got someone like him dominating the penalty area as well, like crosses come in, you're playing against someone like Crouchy, Kevin Davis. Yeah. When you know it's going to be a tough afternoon and you hear a big shout of keepers and up he comes and takes it.
Takes the pressure off.
It's so relieving, yeah.
Obviously you was known in the Premier League as vocal, very influenced captain. What made you personally a good leader?
I think leading by example. I think that's the way I tried to be as a captain. I think I was very vocal on the pitch.
Do you think that was installed in you in a young age, or do you think you grew into it? Was you a leader when you was playing before Chelsea, like when you was a young boy?
Yeah, pretty much. I was captain in kind of all my age groups and teams growing up. So I'm sure managers see that in me, and it's something that I think people have the perception of me in being really loud and aggressive off the pitch as well. But I'm actually probably the opposite. I'm fairly quiet, but once I step over that line, for me, it's like nothing matters. It's all about winning.
Yeah,
I'm such a big believer in like growing up. My dad was just good at all sports, a really good footballer, tennis, table, whatever I played. My dad again, he always beat me, and I hated it, and it drove me mad until the day I beat him, golf, and it was like, I've got you, and it just meant so much to me. But honestly, hurting as a youngster, growing up, kind of in the East End of London, was tough for me. So kind of having that kind of mentality of winning is everything was important for me growing up.
When you've been a leader on the pitch, talking about leadership, this podcast, we're interviewing entrepreneurs, high-performing coaches, leaders and entrepreneurs. So it's drilling down, and what I'm trying to find out and what I'm trying to put back to the listeners is, are you built with being a leader or an entrepreneur, or is it something that you grow into? What's your take on that?
For me personally, I think you're built.
Yeah.
I don't think you can make a leader. I think you can develop people and help them be better than what they are. But I think when you look at the real leaders in the world of sport or football, you look at people like Roy Keane and stuff. No one taught Roy how to go and lead and be as a person on the pitch and drive those standards and stuff like that. That all comes from within. And I think your upbringing plays a big part in that as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I think you can help and guide people for sure. But I think it's an art that you're definitely born with for me.
And talking about that, something that you went back to, you was the first in, last out. Is that something that you stick to in all aspects of life when you've always played and done everything, that you always give 100%?
Yeah, I think just standards, I think, in terms of, like, I hate being late. I hate people around me being late. I don't really associate loads of people that are late and kind of have those standards and stuff. So for me, it was like I used to drop my kids to school and go in at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I used to walk in. It was like a ghost town a little bit. But I wanted to be first in. I know it sounds silly, but I was Chelsea captain. I wanted to make sure the breakfast was right for the players. I wanted to make sure that the pitches were ready. And then when you get someone like Mourinho coming after that, you realise that you don't have to do all of that, because actually he's in charge, and that's exactly what he does. So he was just an incredible leader in a completely different way.
We want to talk about Mourinho, but just what you said there, getting in, making sure things are right. Does that still happen now? Or is that an old-fashioned way of being a captain?
I think it's probably an old-fashioned way.
Okay.
I think...
you don't think captains now are like that? They don't take it as...
Not everyone. I expect people like Van Dijk and players like that to be like it for sure and have their standards. But also, I think holding people accountable, I think, is really important. So for me, a big thing when I was captain, and I get a lot of credit because I had the armband, but again, I spoke about Big Pete, Lamps and Didier played a massive part in that, so they deserve an awful lot of credit. But having these boys behind me who were different leaders, different captains in a different way for me, and we just drove the standards around the training ground completely. So talking about the cleanliness of the building, when we won the league in 2004-05, it wasn't just the players that won and got a mini trophy and a replica of that. We made sure that every single member of staff got a miniature trophy and understood what winning looks like. And that's because of all the hard work. Now, you might be kit man, you might be Eric who cleans the stairs. You're important to this football club because you play a big role every single day. And if it's not there, if I walk up the stairs and there's mess everywhere, then someone needs to tell him. Who's going to tell him that? It's the players that are there every single day. When you walk up the stairs and go, it's immaculate, he deserves a pat on the back and says he needs to know when he's done well as well. So if that's your job, do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah, it's funny because we was talking about the interview previously with Michael Owen, and he was talking, and he said it was like that at Man United. He weren't there for very long, but he said that mentality of togetherness, winning, losing, but you was always, everyone was together. You knew what your role was from the kit man right the way through. And it seems like when you are on a winning team, whether it's in business or in football, you have to have that togetherness and that leadership and that spine right the way down through it. You've worked under some great managers. Who would you say is the best?
I think Jose has to be the best for me. A very close second comes Carlo Ancelotti for me, and they're both completely different characters in different ways. Like Carlo was a very calm manager, would talk to the players, would want to know what time the players wanted to train. If we needed a day off, would sit there and kind of negotiate with the players. You know, when he first arrived from Italy, it was like we normally train in the afternoon in Italy, and we're like, oh boss, we don't train at that time. Can we train in the morning? Yeah, of course you can. And it was very much that with Jose. It was like, you're training at 10 o'clock, you're in this day, you're off that day. It was just...
Weren't no negotiating.
No negotiating whatsoever, completely different. But both really worked because Carlo really understood the players, and because Jose was so in charge and had everyone under control, it was just perfect in two different ways to lead.
Yeah. Have you got anything that you can tell the listeners about Jose? Like, if obviously you was in his presence all the time, people would love to be in that situation. What was it that he'd done something one day that you was like, wow? To put you on the spot a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what? It's the soft side of him that people probably don't see.
Yeah.
And for me, we spoke about the foundation, the work. So the reason I set my foundation up was because of a young boy called Oscar, who very sadly passed away. He was a wish child from Make-A-Wish and Rays of Sunshine. He come in, he had 3 months to live. He was a big Chelsea fan. His wish was to walk out with me as Chelsea captain. So when he first come in, Jose come into the canteen and we're sitting there, we're talking with his dad. And Jose said to his dad and to Oscar, anytime you want to come in, you can come in. And for the next 6 months, we had 3 months to live. For the next 6 months, this boy survived. He had his dream to come out and walk with me as Chelsea captain. But Jose spoke to the family and spoke to the dad. And any time that boy was a little bit down, he'd pick up the phone to Jose and he would come in the training ground. And honestly, they'd be sitting in the office. So Jose would call me to his office. They'd be sitting there. And little Oscar would be there in his Chelsea kit. And they'd be going through the team. Who are you playing the weekend? What are you doing? I think you should play him. And him and Jose were talking. And it's those moments that people don't see. Yeah. That's the soft side of Mourinho that people don't see. But really, really special. And I'm still in touch with Matt, his dad, today, which is really special. And, you know, we often send photos backwards and forwards. But it's those moments that are really important.
And that's why you started the charity and the foundation as well. Yeah, great. I mean, there is some stories that I don't know how they are, but how you are as a person. There's a story that I got told that you had a whip round after a young youth player had his car stolen and you got him a BMW. So you've always been that kind of person giving back. Is that a true statement? Or?
Yeah, that was Ash, myself, and a few of the boys went round. But again, when you're in touch with these boys, so we used to have what they called it when they used to come over and they used to have to sing for the players. So when you first arrive at the football club at 16, your first kind of thing you have to do, you have to come over to the
initiation.
First initiation. That's it. Sorry, I lost the words. And you used to have to come over and dance for a minute. So you have to introduce yourself. So I'm John Terry, and I'd done it as a youngster with Dennis White. It's the most intimidating thing ever. But what it does is it gets us to know the boys straight away. And the boys come over, and some of the dancing is absolutely shocking. And then you get to know the boys on a different level and stuff. So one of the boys got their car nicked and stolen. So we just done a whip round, and I just thought it was the right thing to do. You know, I don't feel like I need a pat on the back for it. We was on very good money, and it was just felt like the right thing to do. One thing we did do as Chelsea players was pay for the driving lessons for the kids growing up, because they was on like £50 a week.
Yeah, nice.
So to pay for a driving lesson or see them all the way through to that first car and those kind of bits was important, because I didn't want the players coming in with a really flash car. And I think when you leave the football club, like Aspilicueta was the captain after me, Gary Cahill, these boys follow that little tradition on as well. And I think it's really important of a core of a football club to still have that.
Definitely. Well, what's it like? Well, I suppose just a question off the cuff is, when you get close to them boys, because obviously it is difficult to make it as a professional. So when you get close to them and say they don't make it, how does that relationship, does it fizzle out, or do you still try and help and guide them people, or do you only work with the ones that you know are going to make it, if that makes sense?
it's probably the reverse of that. It's probably the ones that fall out that you keep in touch with more so, because the ones that are on that journey are kind of everything's going right for them, so they don't need much guidance along the way. It's the ones that fall out, and Chelsea are really good for this in terms of the academy. So I think we've got over 50 boys that have either played in the academy or played for Chelsea at some stage that are now working as coaches or scouts in the women's or the men's as well. So there's that real crossover that actually having that experience of playing for Chelsea, if it doesn't go well and you do fall out the game, you go down the leagues and it doesn't work, there's always an opportunity to come back.
Still got a bit of backing.
Yeah, absolutely, because you play a really important role. There's a couple of boys now that are working with the 13s and 14s. They was there as 13, 14-year-olds. They know exactly what these... Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think it's really important. I'm not sure if other clubs do it, but Chelsea are what I see top of that list by a long way.
Yeah. Just going back to one question on Mourinho. Obviously, there was the big hoo-ha with the hairdryer with Ferguson. Was there ever anything like that in the Chelsea dressing room where he lost his rag, Mourinho?
Not really.
No.
I have to say, not really in terms of a one-on-one individual, more of a collective. But I have to say with him, like the way he's with words, you feel like you let him down. And he'd often say something, not in an aggressive tone, and you just feel like you'd let him down, which is probably even worse. You'd rather be screamed and shouted at.
Get it over and done with.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And he holds a grudge as well. So you'd walk in Monday morning and he'd walk straight past you in the corridor and wouldn't talk to you. But what it does is it makes you go, I want to fight even harder for you because you feel like you've let him down. So, again, I think he's a very clever manager. He knew at all times what he was doing. The small kind of mind games with the players and stuff like that was really big for him. So it definitely worked.
Yeah. What was it? Was there a time in your career that you was at a low and that you needed somebody to put their arm around you?
Yeah, a couple of times in my career.
Yeah.
Ray Wilkins was probably the best for that, I'd say, who was assistant manager to Carlo.
Now, when was that? What happened?
That was probably around 2008, the penalty. So when I missed the penalty against Man United in Moscow, you find out very quickly who your friends are and who the people really care and look out for you are. So Ray was the first one on the phone after that game and making sure I was okay.
Yeah.
And a few other people. So it's those moments that kind of really make you realise that, you know, friends in football are few and far between.
Yeah.
But the real ones at the difficult moments do kind of stand out.
Was that one of the toughest challenges that you faced?
Yeah, and still today, like I think I'm worse today because at the time, like I've said this before, that I think it was 3 or 4 days later we went and met up with England. So now we're sitting across the dining table with the Man United players, which was the worst thing ever anyway. But then we played America at Wembley and ended up scoring.
Yeah.
I scored a header from outside the box. And just after that, I was like, why couldn't I just swap that moment
for that?
Like, still even now today, it goes over in my head. And it's like, it's softened over the years for sure. But I think when you're playing and you're churning out game after game, season after season, you kind of compartmentalise it a little bit and kind of put it right to the back. But it's now that I'm retired, I've not got that focus of playing every week or playing in front of the supporters, having that buzz, that it really, it still really gets me. Like I still wake up middle of the night and go, oh yeah, it did happen, yeah. And I don't think that'll ever go.
How did you manage that?
Again, I don't know. It's just
get on with it.
Just get on with it. Yeah, I grew up in a world, and certainly from my dad and stuff. Like, if you was upset or whatever, you get a clip round the ear and you get on with it, and you get up and, you know, you go and kick the biggest player and that kind of thing. That was the mentality it was back then. Things are different now, which I think is so big in terms of football. Like, looking back, I would have loved at that time to go and spoken to someone, because I remember after the game, we all went back to the hotel, and I think I was on the 25th floor in Moscow, and I'm just looking out the window going, just why? And I'm not saying if I had that opportunity that you'd jump, but you know things go through your head at that particular time, and it's like, and then the boys come up and they took me downstairs, and it's those moments that, like the what if.
Yeah.
You just never know, do you?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's got to be tough to deal with. I mean, how long ago was that? And you're saying that sometimes you still wake up now thinking about it. So tough to take. But obviously you said Ray Wilkins was the one person that put his arm around you and sort of got you out of that.
Yeah, Ray was Ray was brilliant, and it wasn't just that one time checking. It
a few
was,
times, yeah.
Come and meet for a coffee, and different experiences throughout my kind of career, both on and off the field.
Who was the manager then? Your manager?
Avram Grant.
Oh, Avram Grant.
Avram Grant was the manager then, yeah. And Ray actually coming a little bit later, but I'd known Ray obviously being Chelsea captain and being at Chelsea forever, like myself as a kid as well.
Growing up, was you a United fan?
No, I don't know where this has come from. It's a bad rumour. I want to squash it today.
Was it a Tottenham? Was you a Tottenham supporter?
It fucking definitely wasn't a Tottenham fan, that's for sure.
Who was your footballing idol growing up? Who did you look at?
Tony Adams, I loved.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, I grew up like playing at West Ham for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I spent 2 or 3 years at West Ham. I spent a year at Arsenal. I spent a year at Man United and a year at Chelsea, and then decided to sign for Chelsea. So I wasn't really aligned to any club, if that makes sense. I used to get tickets to West Ham. I used to get tickets to Arsenal, Man United, and Chelsea when I was a kid. But was never really a supporter of any club, to be honest. But I just loved Tony Adams, Paul Gascoigne. They were probably my heroes growing up.
I wonder where that come from, that you was a United fan, and somebody must have just.
I think I'd done an interview. You know the old Shoot magazines, like a long time ago, and it was like Cantona was a big fan of his. Steve Bruce, Roy Keane, those types of players, Brian Robson. And I think maybe because I went more Man United, it was kind of picked up then.
They run with
or
that.
Someone's just winding me up this whole time.
You had 3 good years at Aston Villa. Did you miss them days?
Yeah, love my coaching. Well, I played there for a year.
Yeah, and then you was a manager.
And then was assistant manager for 3 years, which I absolutely loved. Like working with Dean Smith, just such a big club. And obviously leaving Chelsea as well. When I left Chelsea to go and play there for a year, I had it in the back of my mind that something could come of it in the coaching role.
Yeah.
So spent 3 unbelievable years there. Got promoted, stayed in the Premier League when we beat West Ham at that stadium actually on the last game, and managed to stay up.
It's difficult for managers.
Oh, it's unbelievably difficult. Yeah, like the out as a player, it's the best job in the world. Believe me. So you go in, you train, and you go home, and you're with your family, and you can go and do what you want to do. As a manager or as a coach, honestly, you're in at 6, 7 in the morning. You're going through the previous day's training or the previous game. You're then setting up the session ahead. You come in from that session. You then watch that training session over and over again. You're then watching videos of the upcoming game. Honestly, it's relentless.
Technology's changed the game slightly. Has it changed for managers as well? Did you see that as your playing career to when you was managing, that there was more information, more data to analyse than there used to be? Yeah.
Mourinho was the big one for that. He brought his own analysis in, which was AVB, Andres Villas-Boas, who managed at Chelsea after that as well.
Yeah.
And he used to give us like individual clips on players that we were playing against and stuff. We used to get a dossier on the players and details like date of birth, things they'd done in previous games and stuff like that. And now it's evolved a little bit, like boys get iPads and get clips sent to them of the strikers they're going to face and things like that. So I think it's good. The data that they're getting. Sometimes it can be too much of an overload, if I'm honest, because there's so many games. Look at Chelsea next week. They play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. That's a lot of information to take in. So do you prioritise one over the other?
Sometimes easier just to get out there and play the game.
Sometimes. I felt that, yeah.
Good question. Right now, you or Van Dijk? Who are you backing?
See, I brought myself a bit of time there.
Bit of thinking time.
He's someone I love. In today's modern game, I think he's the best by far. I think in my area, I'd have to back myself. And I don't say that in an arrogant way. I just think things were different back then. Like I look now, and this ain't him at all. It's got nothing to do with him. But I look at the quality of strikers that are in the Premier League at the moment and world football. It's different. It's so different. Like the list of players that.
Would you prefer to play now? Would it have made it easier for you?
I think it would have been a little bit easier. Yeah. Like I even have this argument with friends of mine and stuff and say it's easier now. It's more difficult back then. Like even playing against Bolton back in the day, you play against Kevin Davis, you play against Newcastle and you got Kieran Dyer, Craig Bellamy, Alan Shearer. Every club you turn to, Aguero, Kane. It's just endless. Van Nistelrooy, Henry, Rooney.
Yeah.
Every single team. Now I look and I go, no one really plays with a 2 up front as well anymore, which is difficult. It occupies both centre backs as well. Again, that's nothing to do with Van Dijk. I think he's the absolute elite out of this current generation, and I think he deserves the praise that he gets.
Yeah, no, I agree. Moving on, we come back on to people that you've played against in a little while, but let's talk about after football, your businesses and your investments. I know that you've got an impressive property portfolio and you do some development yourself. How did you get into that? What made you get into that?
Just always loved property. I was 20 years of age. I was just about to sign a new contract at Chelsea. I was on £250 a week and was just about to sign my big contracts. We've been negotiating for a couple of months. Didn't quite get there, but I said to my now wife Tony, I was like, come on, let's go and look at some houses around Oxshott.
Yeah.
And we went to look at one house and it was up for 3.75 million. I had not a penny in the bank, not a penny. And I made an offer of 2.2 million. And then I get a call about half hour later from the guy and was like, yeah, it's accepted. And I'm like, shit, what do I do now? So I phoned the bank and I was like, can I borrow 2.2? And they were like, yeah. And I think mortgage rates at the time were like 0. It was nothing. It was really low. And in the end, we ended up buying the property. I ended up signing my new deal for a couple of grand a week. I was still what I should know, been nowhere near the house that I had.
Yeah.
We moved in. It had an indoor pool, and me and my wife went to Argos. We had absolutely nothing, and we brought the blow-up sofa. So we could have a sofa in the living room, but also because it floated in the swimming pool as well. It was like it used
best
to be,
of both.
Yeah, best of both worlds. But it was from that moment I just always loved property and stuff, and obviously I went on to sign bigger and better contracts and just kind of wanted to build a bit of a portfolio. And I think in the area as well at the time, I knew that the training ground was being built.
Yeah.
Before it was being built, so we brought a couple of sites, and I brought this place that I spoke to you about that I was in for 10 years and stuff. And it's just been an angle that I felt got me away from football a little bit as well and gave me a different focus.
Do you still do developments now?
Yeah, I think it's tougher now, I think, in terms of the land. And also I think people wanting big money for bits of land and not leaving much margin in it as well. Stamp duty is an absolute killer now as well. So sitting on a couple of sites that we're just waiting for planning to come through and a couple of other bits. So we'll see what happens with the government coming up as well, whether things change and stuff to help that.
Are you hands-on with your projects, or have you got a team that look after them for you, or do you get involved with what colour the bathrooms and the doors are?
Not that deep. My wife she's so good. She's like an interior designer background as well. So she's very hands-on, but she'll sit in like meetings and stuff and take notes. And as a man as well, you sit in those meetings and it's, you don't want to pull people up and stuff. Whereas my wife, she'll be like, no, you said you'll have it done by this date and it's not done, and X, Y, and Z. And she's very, very good. She's on it. I'm a little bit softer, and she's the aggressive one in those meetings for sure.
Talking about investments, have you ever had any deals that haven't gone the way that you've wanted them to? Yeah,
a couple. I think when you're investing as well, you're not going to get them all right.
No.
And I think you just got to be brave in doing the things you believe in as well. So property is something I believe in.
Yeah.
A few other bits that I'm involved in, I believe in. I've got a little bit of knowledge and insight into as well.
Okay.
I wouldn't really go too much. I've maybe got 10% of the portfolio that I don't really know too much about, but it's through other friends and stuff like that it's their world. And I think if you're investing, I think you've got to know certain things. But a big property deal that's still ongoing now that, planning's not come through, and we'll put a lot of money into it, me and two other guys that we're still waiting on. But it's been a long time. I don't think anything's going to happen with it. But you have to kind of pick yourself up and go again, don't you? It's the only way.
Yeah. It's the same as football, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely,
Wash yourself down and get on with it. What do you think of the Dubai property market? Have you got any exposure to it?
Yeah, we're just having an apartment built on the Palm actually at the moment. We was in Dubai in 98, 99, me and my wife, and there was no one there.
Yeah.
And we absolutely loved it, loved the weather, loved the people, and went back kind of every year And it's like everyone's got these stories, haven't they, where the Palm was being built and we didn't buy and we spoke about buying. And the England players got, I think before the 2002 World Cup, they got a villa each at half price at 400 grand that were 800 grand at the time. And I think some of the players went on to sell them for like 10, 12 million, which is a big, big return. And
even more if they held them now.
Yeah, there'd be fortunes now. But just even if you was renting that now, the income that gives you after football is so big, which I think is the biggest thing for footballers nowadays. But yeah, I've got exposure over there a little bit. It's a place that I love holidaying. Would I move there? I'm not sure I could live there permanently. I love London. I love being around London.
Yeah. Talking about Dubai, there was talks of you going on to Rio Ferdinand's podcast. Is that something that would happen, or?
That's definitely not happening. He don't even talk to me.
No, it's not just hearsay. Nothing.
No.
Would you go on it if you was invited?
I would have done, but I approached Rio. I've spoken about this. I approached Rio on the beach about 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
He just had no interest in having a conversation or
Really?
discussing previous issues. So, you know, again, it's like the football thing. You're not going to keep going and going and going. At some point, you go, enough's enough. It's old news, and you move on and get on with your life.
Yeah. He didn't want to entertain a conversation at all?
No.
Well, you've come on my podcast now anyway. So.
Instead.
So what's next for yourself? What is it that you're, the foundation? Is there anything else that you want to talk about that we haven't touched on?
Not really. In terms of foundation, we're looking to grow it and support the kids as much as we can. Again, we spoke off air about the work you do. It's really important to me, but you can't call on too many favours from close friends and stuff that are always putting their hand in their pocket as well. So I've decided to do my golf day every other year.
Okay.
And then this year we're looking to do, we're looking to do a gala dinner at the back end of it as well, which is something I've never done. I think it's a real good way to celebrate and also get the kids there as well and come and speak on stage as well, because there's going to be a lot of people in the room that have gifted and donated to these kids. And I think seeing that impact it can have directly as well is really important to me. So other than that, for me now, it's about supporting my kids. Like, I've made a conscious decision 2 years ago to not continue in the managerial world or the coaching side of things. One, because I love my role at Chelsea. Second of all, because my kids are 19, I've got twins that are 19 that are doing their own bits. They've got their own kind of investments and trying to help and support them in terms of, like, they're both working. One's in the city and one's working at Chelsea in the academy with the girls and stuff. So they're both in different paths, but just want to be around them and support them. And also, more importantly for me, I just want to enjoy my life. Like, I feel like I've been very lucky in terms of the life I've been given. It's also a big sacrifice as well. Like, I'm away, I missed the birth of my kids back in 2006. I just want to be there for my wife and my kids and kind of enjoy that time as much as possible.
Sounds good. And just one other question. Obviously, you're very motivated. We spoke about paddle and golf that you play. Who's a celebrity that you've gone up against that you had to beat in either one of them?
Well, we start at golf. So I love my golf. Golf's been the closest thing to football that I can find. Yeah, it's still way short of it, but it's the one thing that I'm with my mates a couple of days a week. And it's just like that little buzz. And it's not about the money. It's 20 quid or it's 50 quid. But it's just about taking someone's money off them and beating them. And just that winning mentality. I don't know what it is. But I was on the golf course recently. And there's a few pros that play. Richard Bland's one of them. And he's absolutely relentless. Like, he's doing really well on the Live Tour at the minute. But he wants that 100 quid or 50 quid as much as I do. And it's so annoying. He's so good. Like, he goes and shoots like 8, 9, 10 under. Yeah. And you're lucky if you're breaking par and stuff like that. So he's someone I'm struggling to beat at the minute. But people see me on my Instagram as well, kind of taking cash off people.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, I never post the ones where I'm handing over cash. So everyone says to me, you win all the time. I don't. I just post the ones where...
You just don't post the ones when you lose.
But even recently, I was on the golf course with my mates and I'm getting beat. I'm playing so bad. Honestly, like, my eyes filled up. I'm walking down the fairway. I've missed every fairway. I can't make a putt. I'm fuming. Every part of me wants to go in. And I'm almost crying down the... It's like a friendly game with my mates.
Yeah.
And I come home and said to my wife, she's like, you've just got to relax, just go and enjoy it. And I'm like, I can't. I just need to win. I need to beat people.
It's hard, that sport, once you do get tense and you've got the it becomes harder though, I think, golf. I mean, in football, you can get yourself going through emotion, but when in golf, it's just, to me, it's completely different.
Yeah, well, football's quite reactive as well. In golf, you've got so much time to think about it. And honestly, it's the hardest game. Like, I practice relentlessly.
Yeah.
And you just don't improve, or you think you've improved, then you go to the golf course the following day, and then it's just gone. And you're like, how? Yesterday I was really good, and then today I'm absolutely shit.
And what about paddle? Who've you beat at, or who's been the sorest loser when you have beat them?
I'd like to say I'm a better paddle player than I am a golfer.
Yeah.
So any challengers out there, I welcome. I love paddle.
Okay.
Who have I beat recently? I'll tell you who's getting it. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. He's been on Strictly Come Dancing. Jim. He's called me out on TikTok as well, by the way. And we've got a game on Thursday. So Jim, you and Robbie Di Matteo are getting it on Thursday. And I'm going to let you know the result as well.
Lovely.
But they will not win a set.
Not win a set, no?
Not win a set.
That confident?
Yeah.
Wow, you've heard it here first, guys. You've heard it here first. Look, John, thanks for coming on. Is there any advice to anyone that's starting in football as an investor or a business owner or want to start something? What's one piece of advice that you could give them from everything that you've gone through?
I think for me, the biggest things and the biggest takeaways are giving it absolutely everything. Now, that sounds really basic, but again, I done a talk recently at a big company, and it was, if someone's getting in before you, they're getting more clients, and they're getting a small advantage on you and stuff like that. Just whatever you do, just do the absolute utmost of giving it everything. So walk away after 5 o'clock or after 94 minutes, knowing that you've left nothing out there. So with my Champions League missed penalty, I look at that and go, could I have done things differently? Probably not. That's still always going to stick with me. But I look at the preparation before and go, I wore the biggest studs in football. It rained that night, so I'm going, if it ever rains, I'm covered. If it's too dry, I've got smaller ones at the front. So every angle I covered. Some things you just can't manage, you can't take care of.
Yeah.
Control the things that you can control. They are being on time, being really aggressive in the way you work, not accepting losing. Yeah. All of those bits are really important for me. Body language for young footballers that are out there. People are watching. There's cameras everywhere now.
Yeah.
Body language is big. Like, be the best trainer every single day. Don't wait till a Friday or a Saturday afternoon because it's too late. Your body's going to shut down. All of these bits are real basics that we can control. Yeah. The other bits, the weather, me slipping in Moscow, that's out of my control, unfortunately.
Unbelievable bit of advice. Concentrate on what we're in control of and don't worry about what we're not in control of. John, it's been a pleasure. Some great advice, some great takeaways. But I'm not going to let you get away without telling me who's the best player you've ever played with.
Best player I've ever played with would be, in terms, I say this, in terms of pure ability, Eden Hazard is the best by far. Could do things I've seen. Top players just cannot get on his level. Honestly, incredible. In terms of longevity, and Chelsea's best ever player has to be Frank Lampard. In terms of goals, season after season, spending that long behind a midfielder, and you watch him receive the ball, and he doesn't even look, and he plays a reverse pass. Just the vision and the actual quality to then execute that was incredible. So those two are the best I've played with. The best I've played against would have to be Messi and Ronaldinho by far. Just, again, petrifying to mark and play against.
John, thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Thanks. That's a wrap.